Today I'm house hunting on Gran Canaria, the second largest of the Canary Islands. Famed for its amazing year-round climate, it's no wonder today's house hunters want to buy here. I'm Jasmine Harmon, and over the last decade I've helped hundreds of people find their dream homes. We've been checking up on the property market in popular winter sun destinations around the world, hunting high and low for the most incredible properties at fantastic prices. I've been exploring in Spain, Portugal and the Canary Islands. In all three places, property prices have finally gone up for the first time in 8 years. But, as you'll see, every destination is different. One thing they all have in common is, if you know where to look and how to look, you can still find great bargains. Stick with us and find out how. Today's house hunters are husband and wife Ali and Ben Brown from Kent. For many years, they've dreamt of owning a property abroad. But now their two grown-up sons have flown the nest, they feel it's the perfect time to make this dream happen. Former money broker Ben Brown and his wife Ali have had 36 happy years and 2 children together. But with both boys grown and gone, this adventurous couple are ready to go for it and buy a second home in the sun where they can spend the winters. And they're definite about where they want to be, somewhere they've holidayed before, Gran Canaria.
That island has the best climate of all. It doesn't get swelteringly hot in the summer and it keeps good temperatures during the winter.
And you get a lovely suntan. It's just an all-round really lovely place to stay and visit.
Central to this search are their 2 sons, recently married Tom and his brother Jack.
They're really, really good lads and like a pint and a bit of banter.
Hopefully they will come and visit us, and who knows, we might have grandchildren one day as well that can come and visit.
Now they're looking forward to finally achieving their dream with their budget of £180,000.
I'm most excited to sit down, watch the sun go down and think we've actually done it together.
We've worked hard for it. Let's now enjoy it.
It's clearly vital to Ben and Ali that we get this search right, so we're going to show them the best properties on the market on Gran Canaria for their budget of £180,000. Just 3.5 hours flight from the UK and roughly the size of Greater London, Gran Canaria combines rugged mountains with beautiful beaches, which make up over a quarter of the 147-mile coastline. But the Browns have done their research and want to focus solely on a small stretch of the southwest coast that boasts one of the best microclimates in Europe. They want to buy a property further away from the airport than some of the better-known resorts, with their search zone starting in Arguineguin in the south and running north up the coast for around 10 miles, also taking in the town of Puerto Rico. Property prices on Gran Canaria can fluctuate depending on whereabouts you buy. Areas like Arguineguin have seen house prices fall by as little as 7% since the economic crash. But it's a different story in the nearby town of Puerto Rico, which has seen prices slashed by 6 times that amount. To get a clearer understanding of where the best places to buy property on Gran Canaria are, I'm meeting local agent Alex Williams.
There are definitely areas which are very popular with British tourists and people wanting to retire here as well. As from an investment point of view, I would say always buy somewhere with a view and somewhere very close to the beach. Are there any tips you'd give for somebody house hunting here in terms of how much to negotiate on the asking price? About 10%. About 10% to knock off? Yes. How is the market at the moment? What's happening? At the moment, well, the prices are still low. It's a really good time to invest. I've got a feeling they're going to start picking up soon. The prices have been dropping slowly since 2006. We're starting to see that there's an increase in demand now. There's a lot more buyers. They're taking advantage of these low prices after such high prices we had in the past. So the banks are making it easier for international buyers as well at the moment, do you think? Yeah, I do think so. There's a saying in Spain that the tap has been closed, and now everybody's got this saying on their lips at the moment that the tap is open again.
So, with the market moving again here on Gran Canaria, financial expert Ben and his wife Ali haven't got any time to lose if they want to get value for money. Welcome, you two, to Gran Canaria.
Hello.
Thank you.
What is it you like about this place, as if I couldn't tell?
Well, we've been thinking about buying a place abroad off and on for quite a few years.
And found the best climate in Europe, and we also identified the part of the island that has allegedly the best climate, and this is it.
So you're really specific about exactly where on Gran Canaria you want to be?
Yes, I think it's a sort of a 10-mile stretch.
Do you two usually agree when you're looking at property together?
Well, we have this situation whereby we look at something and then we'll score it out of 10 quite independently, and then we won't influence each other. And then if we both hit the 8.5s upwards, yep, we're in. But if one of us is sitting around 4 or 5 out of 10, then we just rule it out.
How long are you intending to spend in a property out here?
Perhaps 4 or 5 months a year, certainly towards the end of sort of October, November. Go back to the UK for Christmas, because Christmas is always good for friends and family.
So tell me exactly what you do want then.
A 3-bedroom property would be good.
3 bedrooms I do think is going to be a stretch, but would you be happy with 2?
For the right
Yes.
property,
Yep.
we could
Absolutely.
accept 2, yes.
Yep.
Location-wise, it doesn't have to be right on the doorstep of shops and restaurants, but within a reasonable walking distance.
Yes.
And we're happy to get on to the local buses to go to towns and other places.
So tell me a bit more about the family. Who will be coming out here to visit you, and what do they all think of it?
I think they're quite excited because there's the prospect of cheap or free holidays for them in the future.
Is this for your sons?
Yeah, well, we've got 2 sons, Jack's 26 and Tom, and our new daughter-in-law, Emma, who just recently got married a few weeks ago.
They've turned out to be very mathematical, very smart kids.
Wow, so they're both
Yep.
maths geniuses.
I'll
Yeah.
put them 8.5 out of 10, yeah. Possibly 9.
Are you ready to get started?
Yeah,
Ready to go.
absolutely. Ready
Let's
to
go.
go.
Let's do it.
So Ali and Ben are after somewhere in which they can spend the winter months but with space for visiting family. We're starting in Puerto Rico, a fun-loving town of 4,000 people right in the middle of their 10-mile search area. With not 1 but 2 standout beaches, there's plenty to do, including browsing in the Puerto Rico Shopping Centre, a complex of more than 100 stores and dozens of lively pubs and clubs, which should please both Ali and Ben and their 2 grown-up sons.
So here we are in Puerto Rico. Now this is where you two stayed, isn't it, just recently?
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
just behind us in the harbour area.
What did you like about it?
The food, the ambience of the place.
Everybody's very friendly.
Yeah.
You can walk to lots of restaurants. The beach is right here.
I mean, you can get a sun lounger, you can relax all day. It's about
Yeah.
£5.50 for
Yeah,
a
that's
beach
right.
umbrella
Yeah.
and a sun lounger, and you can
Fantastic.
just chill out. Where we're going to have a look at the property is up in the hills nearby, so a fairly easy walk down, but most people get a cab on the way back up, and it's within the minimum fare distance, so it's £1.80. So really within striking distance of
Yeah.
the coast.
While the southwestern part of Gran Canaria is known for being quite expensive, Puerto Rico is a pretty good place for a bargain. That's partly because it's always been popular with Brits, so when the UK was hit by the recession, a lot of people needed to sell quickly. However, with agents saying many of the best deals have now been snapped up, I'm pleased to have found Ali and Ben something well within their £180,000 budget, just 10 minutes from the town centre.
Now, I thought, since the property is a couple of floors down, we would start here on the rooftop, which is where you've got your lovely communal pool.
Very nice.
And you can take in the views. Got views over the harbour and over the town.
Looking quite good from here at the moment.
Yeah?
Perhaps 1 or 2, maybe a small issue there with a little bit of safety for youngsters.
Getting a,
You're thinking about the future, are you?
thinking
Well,
about grandchildren.
children,
That would
little
concern me
ones,
slightly,
yeah.
the gap under there.
Yes.
What you've got here is a very small complex. There are only 10
Yes.
apartments, mainly holiday homes.
And it's very quiet. And,
Yes, it is a nice quiet
yeah,
location.
on that front, it scores very highly.
This 2-bedroom apartment has a large sunny balcony which incorporates both a dining and living area. Inside, there's an open-plan living space and a newly fitted kitchen, and is on the market nearly 40 grand under budget for a shade below £142,000. I wonder what they'll think.
So you've got 2 bedrooms and a bathroom here. And this is your open plan living space and kitchen.
Well, I think the word bijou is probably a word that comes to mind. But of course, there is some living space outside.
There
so-
is. There's a sitting area, a
Yep.
dining space.
Yeah.
The kitchen, what do you think of that? Is that somewhere you think you could whip up a nice meal?
Yes, it's not bad. It's got most of what you need, really.
Now, have a look out here.
Oh,
Sitting area, dining space,
Outside
and
of-
amazing views.
It's improving, yeah.
So does it feel quite so bijou now?
No, another half point on, defo. Yeah.
Another half point?
Yeah. Just looking round back into the kitchen, it actually looks quite more sizable than it did when we first came in, so that's a definite plus.
Well, I'm going to let you two go and have a look around the bedrooms and the bathrooms on your own, so you can have a chat, and then I'll catch up with you afterwards.
Okay.
All right, see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Let's have a look what we got here then.
Not a bad size room.
No, there's plenty of wardrobing space there. Definitely enough for your clothes, dear.
It doesn't give me the sort of wow factor, to be honest. I think it'd be more sensible to make this the master bedroom and use that bigger bedroom as a bedroom for guests, but also as a study.
This apartment does have some lovely views, as well as 2 bedrooms and the all-important shared pool. Well below budget for just under £142,000.
So, what did you think?
It is a little bit smaller than I had hoped for overall, to be absolutely honest. I know there is that nice sun terrace there, but if we could see something that was just a bit bigger in every way, that would be very nice.
What would you two score it out of 10? Have you discussed it?
7 3/4.
Well, bear in mind it's the first one that we've seen. I'm going to give it 6.5.
Harsh. So, it hasn't totally won you over, but that's a pretty good score, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on.
Thank you.
Coming up, something for the future grandchildren.
First thing you see is the pool area.
Lovely. Really, really lovely.
Absolutely top-notch.
Today, I'm house hunting on the Spanish island of Gran Canaria, helping Ali and Ben Brown find their dream home away from home.
With £180,000 to spend on a 2 or 3 bedroom property where they can escape the British winters, the Browns have done their research, identifying a 10-mile stretch of the island's coastline in which to buy. We started our search in busy Puerto Rico, where I showed them a 2-bedroom apartment for the below-budget price of just under £142,000. They liked the lovely views from the balcony, but ruled it out because it was too small. Next, we're heading a 6-minute drive from Puerto Rico to Playa del Cura, a purpose-built resort aimed primarily at tourists. It's not as lively as the last location, but it's got a lot to offer, from a peaceful cove safe for swimming to a variety of restaurants and a supermarket. Plus, £40 million has recently been designated to upgrade the marina and build a new beach.
Okay, so we're 3 miles from Puerto Rico. This is Playa del Cura.
Looks lovely.
We are beach people, but even though it's sort of a little bit volcanic around here, I think that's really, really nice. You know, it's a place I would love to call home.
You've got a little commercial centre, you've got a supermarket, you've got a handful of nice restaurants and bars. How would you two feel if I said we were going to have a look at a property right here?
Well, that location looks perfect, doesn't it?
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Let's go.
With 80% of property owners in Playa del Cura living here part-time, Ali and Ben would be in good company if they decided to buy a holiday home here. Although prices have dropped by around 20% since the downturn, sales are now growing steadily, with prices remaining stable over the past year. So if Ali and Ben like the property, now could be a good time to buy.
So, coming into the complex, obviously the first thing you see is the pool area.
Lovely. Really, really lovely. Yeah.
Absolutely top-notch. So well kept.
I know you want to future-proof if grandkids come along one
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
Very safe.
Safe. You've even got a little kiddies pool
Yes.
over there.
Yeah.
This complex was built in 1995. You've got 52 properties here in the complex.
I think the location is very good.
Yes, in overall comparison so far to earlier property, this is a point or so higher, yeah.
Good.
Good.
So the pool's gone down well. I just hope the property scores as highly. As well as 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, there are also some surprises. A private garden with a terrace for dining, as well as a balcony to the master bedroom and a parking space. It's on the market for just under £156,000. I can't wait to see what they think.
It's this one here.
Right.
So actually, it's a little 2-bedroom townhouse.
Oh, right.
All right.
Well, that's interesting. I just imagined it to be on one level, to be honest.
Little garden outside. Who does the gardening between you two?
I do.
You do everything.
I know, I do. Yeah, I cut the grass.
OK, shall
Then
I
what
leave
do
now?
you do?
I'm the numbers man. I sit on the calculator all day.
He works out how long it might take me to do the gardening.
with his calculator. It's actually on the market for just under £156,000.
Well, that's
Whoa.
quite interesting, isn't it?
Look, you've got a nice little terrace here with an awning, so you can have it either in sun or in shade.
Very nice.
And then
Very
you
nice.
come straight into your living room.
Well, it's definitely bigger than what we've seen before, and you know, with a bit of change of furniture and everything, I think you could turn this into something pretty good.
That's quite a reasonable living area, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
Especially
is.
with the terrace as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which one of you two does the more sort of interiors?
Ben does come and shop for interiors with me.
I do.
Yeah, he does like to do that.
Yes.
We tend to like the same style of furniture and furnishings and really the same colour scheme predominantly,
Yep.
don't we?
Yeah, we like our beiges and sort of fairly neutral colours.
Right, this is the kitchen. Quite bold colour
Yes.
scheme, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is it? I know you said you quite like neutrals, but
Yeah. Maybe not what I would choose, but it kind of goes with the country, doesn't it?
Yes. Question is, will it improve your cooking, dear?
well, the question is, will it improve your cooking?
Well, we know the answer to that.
There's certainly room for improvement there.
So upstairs, this is the larger of the 2 bedrooms, and you've also got a little balcony out front.
It's very spacious, and it's got a lovely light aspect. Wardrobing looks very spacious.
Well, it's nice, it's light and airy,
Yeah.
and I like the little balcony as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for an early morning cup of tea.
If grandkids do come along, which I can tell you're really hoping for, is this going to have enough space for everybody?
Oh, I think yes, because they're not here for a huge amount of time, so you get by, don't you?
So do you want to take yourselves off and have a look at the other bedroom, and I'll meet you back downstairs. See you
in a
shortly.
minute.
This has got everything we need, hasn't it? And lovely, bright and airy. It's a bit smaller than I thought it might be, but if we wanted it as a bedroom cum study, you could have a sofa bed.
I think this townhouse with its 2 bedrooms, pretty garden and balcony has been a hit. They like the living space both inside and out, and it's under budget at just under £156,000.
So what did you think of the rest?
Very good. Pleasantly surprised with the whole property.
The feel of the property was good. We could reorganise a few things internally to make living a little easier.
It feels good. I like that. I like this vicinity. I think the pool area is lovely, and having its own little garden area is nice as well.
So did you think about how many this would score out of 10?
And I marked it at 8 3/4.
Oh.
Ali was
So a whole point above the last one?
Yeah, it's a little higher than the last one.
And I said 8.5, which is 2 points.
2
up.
points up. Yeah. When we initially spoke, you said if we both say 8 or 9, we'll go for it.
Yes.
So this one's a really strong contender.
This is a strong contender. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
So, with the search going well, I want to take a bit of time to find out what lies behind Ben and Ali's plan to buy a second home in Gran Canaria.
So why now?
Why not?
You don't know what's around the corner health-wise. We've both had a couple of scares along the way.
What happened?
About 8 years ago, I had a heart problem, which is fine now. And a couple of years ago, Ben had a heart attack, completely out of the blue. So we're very fortunate that everything's okay now. And you're fighting fit, aren't you?
Yes.
Was that a bit of a wake-up call?
I mean, it was very close to being a go-to-sleep call, to be honest.
Gosh, that must have been really terrifying.
We just feel that now's the time to grab the bull by the horns and go ahead and if we're going to do it, let's do it.
You're sort of going to be a bit out on a limb because you won't know anyone here to begin with. and it will just be the two of you.
I'm quite happy to look for the equivalent of the Women's Institute over here.
And also ladies' spa days.
Well, the spa days certainly do sound very attractive.
As does the golf club. I'm sure there's plenty going on up there.
Well, you won't have time to relax, you'll be so busy.
Coming up, Ali's lost for words.
This could be the one.
I'm a little bit speechless at the moment, to be honest.
Ali and Ben Brown from Kent have chosen the Spanish island of Gran Canaria to find their dream home abroad.
They've got a budget of £180,000 that they want to use to buy a second home to spend the winters on Gran Canaria's southwestern coast. So far, I've shown them an apartment in Puerto Rico with a balcony for just under £142,000. Though they thought the views were beautiful, they'd hoped for somewhere bigger. But they seem to be won over by a two-bedroom townhouse for almost £156,000 with a private garden in the village of Playa del Cura. And they loved the shared pool. With Ben giving it a score of 8 3/4 out of 10 and Ali giving it 8.5, it's definitely a contender. Next, we're heading to Arguineguin, a fishing village to the south of their search area which boasts a well-preserved old quarter and picturesque harbour. Ben's a real football fan, so he should be interested in one of the area's claims to fame. It's the hometown of footballer David Silva.
So, next stop off, this is Arguineguin. Have you two been here before?
We came here one evening, last time we visited the island, and had some supper.
And what were your impressions of Arguineguin?
Well, in the dark, we didn't get a terribly good impression, to be honest. But I'm trying to be open-minded today.
There are a lot more local people here. It is a working town. You've got a fantastic beach, you've got 3 shopping centres.
I think it sounds a lot more interesting than I had originally envisaged.
Hopefully, you two will warm to this town, and I'm really hoping that you're going to like the property that I've got lined up.
Arguineguin is a property hotspot, especially amongst Norwegian buyers, so much so it is known as Mini Norway. Norwegians actually get medical grants from their government to convalesce here because of the fantastic climate. But its popularity with wealthy Scandinavians explains its expensive reputation, with prices for a 2-bedroom apartment costing as much as £315,000. So I think my next property, just a £2 cab ride from the town centre, is a real find.
What do you think of the views?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And what about this?
What about this?
Yeah, lovely surprise. Didn't expect that.
Yeah.
27 properties, all townhouses, as is a lot of the area.
Yes.
But different owners have done different things with the properties.
If we were having family over here, I think a pool is a really nice bonus. I know you've got the sea, but just to be able to walk out and you've got this facility is great.
Yes. And it also looks very safe for little children.
If you need to pop to the supermarket, there's just one 5 minutes walk from here, so you don't need to go down into the main town for little bits and bobs like that.
Sounds absolutely perfect.
This 4-bedroom property has a wonderful wraparound terrace with stunning views of the town, incorporating 2 sunny sitting areas and a semi-enclosed dining space. Then there's a patio leading to an extra outdoor building called a cabana, which has power, although it's not connected to the water supply. Inside the main house there are 4 bedrooms spread over 3 floors, with 2 in the basement and 2 on the first floor. While there's a bright open-plan kitchen living room on the ground floor. And though it's over budget with an asking price of just over £196,000, it's been on the market for 6 months, and so there should be room for negotiation.
This is the house, and this is a cabana built outside.
Right.
So at the moment it's separated into 3 sections, but it's got power. And this terrace goes all the way round, and you've got views from around that side.
Well, I wasn't expecting to see a property plus an extra property, so quite impressed.
It looks like 2 floors, obviously, from here, but it's been built with a basement, which is known as an underbuild. It's set up downstairs as 2 extra bedrooms.
This could be the one.
I'm a little bit speechless at the moment, to be honest.
It's actually just over £196,000. So it is over budget. there may be some negotiation within that price.
It is a few thousand away, but there is room for negotiation, I'm sure.
Want to get inside?
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Here we are then. What do you two think of this?
Got a well-appointed kitchen that seems quite new.
You've got a WC in there, and what the owners have done is actually enclosed part of the terrace here to create a dining space there, and obviously you've got the rest of the terrace which goes all the way around here. So up here you've got bathroom, that's the second bedroom. This is the larger of the two bedrooms with access to the balcony.
Waking up to that view in the morning, it is beautiful, isn't it? Looking out there to the sea. Perhaps not as big as I was expecting it for some reason, but depending on what's downstairs in the underbuild, we might be able to go with this.
The thing is with the underbuild, using it as a bedroom, the important thing is to think about escape routes. Obviously with building regs in the UK, you've got to have 2 escape routes from any bedroom. That's not the case here, and that if you have a smoke alarm, then you can get away with only having 1 escape route. But the community is having a meeting next month to discuss whether they can increase the size of the windows downstairs in the underbuild, which would mean you've got 2 escape routes from each of the downstairs bedrooms. So that's definitely something worth knowing, because if that goes ahead, then it makes those rooms downstairs much safer.
I think perhaps there's flexibility for changing quite a bit around within the property.
So have a good look around and a think about it, and I'll meet you afterwards.
Okay.
All right, see you in a bit.
Yes.
Second bedroom, that's a reasonable size. Oh, my goodness, look at this.
I mean, the ceiling's definitely got some height. It looks much smaller upstairs, or feels smaller, and down here it's massive. All right, what have we got here then? So this will be the window.
The one the residents are trying to get made bigger from the safety aspect. Yeah.
This 3-storey townhouse could hardly fail to impress, with its family-friendly pool, 4 bedrooms, wraparound terrace and even a separate building that could be used for watching sport or as a study. And though it's over budget with an asking price of just over £196,000, it's been on the market for 6 months, and Ben's a shrewd money man, so I'm sure he's up for a bit of negotiation.
What are your thoughts now, having seen everything?
We do see this as a contender. There's great outside space. The sun just wraps around the terrace during the day. Outside cabana is fantastic, and lots of potential for adapting the property.
So let's go for it then. Scores out of 10.
Right, well, I'm going in at 9 1/4, and I know that Ali is a tough marker.
So I've said 9.
Wow! So this is the top scorer so far. I'm getting a bit nervous now about how I can beat those scores, but let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go.
Next, we're heading back to an area we've been to before, the popular resort of Puerto Rico, where we began our search. Ben and Ali like it, and the good news is it's about to get even better, because the town's due to undergo a facelift to upgrade the buildings and hotels. And that includes the large shopping centre, which is also set to be redeveloped.
So we've come back to an area which I already know that you two love, to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
I mean, the good thing about being here is you have got so many amenities. In this shopping centre alone, you've got 4 supermarkets. Well, the property that we're going to is a little way up the hill, but actually it's very, very central, so all this would be a short walk away.
Around 70% of property in Puerto Rico is used as holiday accommodation, and it's also popular with Scandinavians. As Sweden, Denmark and Norway recovered so quickly from the global recession, there were less forced sellers and more people buying. In fact, our next property is in a complex where 8 out of 10 owners are Scandinavian, just a 10-minute walk from the town centre.
This is the property that we're looking at.
Looks well kept from the outside. Looks very clean. Nice bit of frontage on it.
I would think it's a bit older than the one we've just been to see, but the gardens are very pretty.
This was built 35 years ago, this little complex. So it's
gosh.
actually one of the first in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, one of the first.
The pool is just behind us,
Okay.
up here, so it's literally just across the path from the property.
Yeah.
It's got 3 bedrooms.
Three bedrooms.
Okay.
This place is on the market for just over £173,000. So do you two want to go in and have a look at this one on your own?
Okay.
And I'll wait for you over by the pool. See you there.
See you there.
This duplex apartment is one of just 15 properties in the development. It has a garden at the front with a dining area, and at the back there's a utility space with an open-air barbecue. Inside, it has an open-plan kitchen and living room, plus it's got 3 bedrooms, so there's plenty of space for the whole family, all for the under-budget price of just over £173,000.
It's brightly decorated and nicely decorated.
It doesn't sort of inspire me initially, but it is under budget. Yeah, this does need a bit of updating.
A couple of grand spent on it, probably ripped the whole thing out. And mind you, there is a utility room at the back there.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Nice little barbecue area.
Yeah, that's quite handy, quite useful.
Bit bright.
Quite a small bedroom, but you could get a double bed in here, a small double bed. Right, well, another very, very bright bedroom.
Yeah.
And it's got nice sea views.
Yeah.
And views over the town.
Oh, that's a swimming pool.
Yeah.
On paper, this duplex apartment with its garden and shared pool seems to have a lot to offer. It has 3 bedrooms, so there'd be space for the whole family to come out together, and at just over £173,000, it's under Ben and Ali's budget.
What did you make of the property?
Really, it didn't seem like a home from home or something that we could make into a home for home.
What's emerging now as being the most important thing for your home here in Gran Canaria to have?
We want to be able to have that extra bit of space to have the family all together.
Did tend to like the other areas slightly better. They seem to be not so Bucket and Spadey.
It's pretty safe to say we can draw a line under this one.
I think so, yes.
Yep, very much so.
OK, let's move on then.
Thank you.
Coming up, we get back on track.
I'm very surprised. Yes.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Now that their 2 grown-up sons have flown the nest, semi-retired couple Ali and Ben Brown want to escape the British winters and spend up to half the year living here on the island of Gran Canaria.
Ali and Ben want to focus their search on a 10-mile stretch of the southwestern coast of the island. And so far, I've shown them 4 properties for their budget of £180,000. They ruled out a 2-bedroom apartment with views in Puerto Rico for almost £142,000 as too small. And they were initially impressed by a 2-bedroom townhouse with a private garden for just under £156,000 in Playa del Cura. However, that all changed when they saw the 3rd property, a 3-storey townhouse with 4 bedrooms for just over £196,000 in Arguineguin, which offered ample space for all their family and which they liked so much it became the only contender. And though the 4th property, a duplex back in Puerto Rico for just over £173,000, had 3 bedrooms, they discounted it because it didn't feel like home. So, with a final chance to find a property to compete with that 3-storey house in Arguineguin, I'm taking them back to an area they liked when we visited before. Though they eventually decided the townhouse with the garden wasn't big enough, they loved the quiet resort of Playa del Cura. With all the amenities you'd need, the area's about to get millions of euros of government investment to create a vibrant new marina development. Playa del Cura itself is well connected with great roads and regular buses.
Well, I know Playa del Cura made a really good impression on the 2 of you, so we're back.
We're back here.
We're back.
We liked this area, didn't we?
So, the final property, I think this one is completely different to anything else we've seen.
Yes.
I think this one might be a bit of a curveball.
Okay.
Let's go.
We've done bustling and vibrant on this search, so I thought we'd try rural and peaceful. Though it feels secluded, the next property is actually walking distance from Playa del Cura. There are only 15 houses in the settlement of Barranco del Cura, all detached, so it's very much a community. Every house is unique, so prices vary, but they're generally in the range of £275,000 to £320,000. So I'm pleased to be showing the Browns something much closer to their budget.
Here we are. This is the property. Completely different to any of the locations or properties we've seen up until now.
Well, it does look very different. I'm very surprised. Yes.
In a good way.
In a good way, yes.
Compare this to being in the centre of Puerto Rico.
No, bucket and spade versus quiet and tranquil.
This detached finca or rural property has magnificent outside space on both sides. At the front, there's a large sitting dining area, while there's another terrace for relaxed alfresco entertaining at the back. Though there isn't a pool, there is scope to put one in, and there's even an outdoor shower. Inside, there's a bright, open-plan sitting room and kitchen, plus 2 bedrooms. And though it's over budget at just over £208,500, the owners are very keen to sell, so there might be a deal to be done.
I'm intrigued to know what you two are going to think of this, because this property represents the difference between a holiday home on a complex with a communal pool and a real home.
You've hit the nail on the head there. We could put our own stamp on this, perhaps, and make it a home from home.
This place is on the market for £208,500. The sellers are now very motivated. They're actually separating, so they're really keen to sell. And the agent tells me that there is most definitely a deal to be done, because I know it's over budget by quite a lot.
Yes, yeah. We'll always try to do a deal if the property looks good.
Right.
Well, it looks a very nice lounge area, yes.
Yeah, lovely. Not bad at all. It does need some redecoration, but it doesn't have that sort of heavy old feeling about it, and it's not dark.
You've got the smaller of the 2 bedrooms just off there, off the living area, and you've got a bathroom just there. There is an outside shower as well, so if you've been down on the beach and you're covered in black sand, you know, you can have a shower out there and not bring it all in. Look at this back terrace out here.
Yeah, very nice.
So you've got all of this private outside space, and maybe even grandchildren paradise.
If they wanted to be rock climbers, I think you're right, yeah.
But why don't you two have a little wander around the rest, just so that you've seen everything, and I'll meet you afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, see you in a sec.
Yeah. That was quite brightly coloured.
You could actually cupboard that in and make it a proper wardrobe.
You could do, and it's got 2 entrances, so straight out on to the patio in the mornings.
It's all set up as an alfresco shower room. I think you'd quite enjoy it, wouldn't you? No. I had hoped this might be a little bit bigger than this, as it's only got 2 bedrooms.
I hoped they'd be won over by the light and airy living space and ample outdoor terraces of this detached finca with its 2 bedrooms on the market for the negotiable price of just over £208,500. But I think I've spoilt them with that 4-bedroom house in Arguineguin, and now nothing else stands a chance.
So, overall impressions?
I do like the location. It is very peaceful and quiet, but I don't actually think it's the property for us.
We would perhaps have a list of 15 to 20 jobs that we needed to do to get it as we wanted it.
OK, I took a gamble with this one. It hasn't paid off. So, I guess what you two need to do is definitely some number crunching, discussing all the properties, and then tomorrow morning we'll meet and have a chat and find out what you're going to do next.
Back to our search, and Ben and Ali ruled out 4 of the 5 properties I've shown them. An apartment with views for almost £142,000 was too small, and though a townhouse with a garden for almost £156,000 scored highly at first, they eventually decided that it wasn't big enough either. The duplex apartment with shared pool and 3 bedrooms for just over £173,000 didn't feel like home, while the detached finca for an asking price of just over £208,500 only had 2 bedrooms, and now they've realised they can get more for their money. The lack of a 3rd bedroom ruled that property out too, plus they felt it needed too much work. But they seem to love the 3-storey house in Ardginnigan for an asking price of just over £196,000. Its 4 bedrooms mean there'd be space not only for them, but for their 2 sons and hopefully their future grandchildren. I wonder if they like it enough to make an offer.
It sounds like you've ruled them all out apart from the property in Ardginnigan.
Absolutely correct, yep.
What was it that made that one so
Well,
special?
Great views.
And anything we want to do, we can do it in stages. We don't have
Yeah.
to get in there and start straight away.
There's a meeting coming up of the community, and they all have to vote on whether they can do this, and this.
Regarding the windows
Yeah.
downstairs.
Regarding the windows, and it does open it up to be a much more versatile property. There's £10,000 worth of work to do, minimum, maximum 15. So we have to bear that in mind.
So do you want to make an offer now?
Well, what we'd like to do is offer £176,000 for the property.
So knocking 20 grand off the asking price.
Put it in, see what happens.
Yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
And that would bring it in line with your budget as well, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
So that'd be
Yep.
fantastic. So let's have a quick chat with the agent. Hello, Suneva, it's Jasmine. I'm here with Ben and Ali, who came to see the townhouse in Ardginnigan. They are really interested in it and they would like to make an offer, but there's quite a bit of work that they would like to do to the property. So they'd like to put in an offer of £176,000. I mean, it's a serious offer. You know, they can move quite quickly if that's what the people want. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Well, she's going to get in contact with the sellers and find out. She's going to do her best, she said.
Yes, I mean, it's in there. See what comes back.
Exciting!
Exciting.
Yeah.
Hi, Suneva. Have you got any news for us?
Yes, I have listened the owners about it.
Can you hold on for me a second, Suneva? Yeah? Okay, brilliant. Okay, they won't accept 176,000, but she said they are willing to drop to 188,000.
I know it's meeting halfway. I think we go to a 180, see what they've got to say.
And is that your final offer?
Final offer,
Are you sure?
100%.
Hi, Suneva.
Yes, fine. So,
I've just had a chat with Ali and Ben, and they have said that their maximum budget is £180,000. Perhaps you can put that to them and tell them that offer is still on the table. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. I mean, we are
Yeah.
£8,000 between what you're willing to offer and what they're willing to accept.
Yeah.
So I would hope that somehow or another
Yeah.
we can find a middle ground
Yeah.
there.
It is exciting. I do hope that we can get this property now. So fingers crossed.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
And keep me posted about what happens.
We will. Yes.
100%, absolutely.
There was good news from the residents' meeting. Permission was granted to enlarge the basement windows, so Ben and Ali found out for sure they could go ahead and make the property perfect for them and their family. However, they decided not to up their offer, and the owners wouldn't budge either, so they reluctantly put the property out of their minds. They're now planning to buy off-plan in a new development in the marina in Playa del Cura.